Welcome to the Juvenile Welfare Board's 24th Annual Cooperman-Bogue Kids First Awards Luncheon. An exciting afternoon of JWB recognizing and celebrating its community partners, the children that we serve, and the work of outstanding award-winning social service professionals. This sold-out event took place on a sunny spring day at the beautiful Hilton St. Petersburg Carillon Park.
On behalf of the board and on behalf of our amazing staff and our CEO, Dr. Marcy Biddleman, who unfortunately can't be here today, I'd like to welcome you to the 24th Annual Cooperman-Bogue Kids First Awards Luncheon. At this time, I'd like to introduce Senior Chaplain Edie Darling to offer our invocation. Chaplain Darling, thank you for your service.
Good morning. If we could all bow our heads in prayer. Most gracious and loving Father, we thank you for allowing us the opportunity to come together once again. Now more than ever, we are in desperate need of your angelic warriors disguised as social service providers.
Helping to pack the room this year was the Honorary Host Committee, made up of past and present JWB board members. Following the welcome and invocation, Mistress of Ceremonies JWB COO Judith Warren seamlessly guided the audience through a program full of surprises, award presentations, and deserved recognition of community leaders who strive to improve the lives of children and families.
We were created by visionaries. It was the first time that citizens in the U.S. voted to tax themselves to improve children's futures.
A youngster from JWB's Lunch Pals stepped in to help cheer on all the elected officials, business and community leaders, and JWB's funded agencies and community councils in attendance.
For the past 24 years, JWB has honored 4 individuals for their life-changing work with children and families. So now it's time to meet the winners.
Wherever you see Nakima in the community, you always know that there's some kind of good behind it.
She likes things just right. She's a woman of excellence, I'll put it that way.
Miss Nakima, she's a good one.
Nakima is a family support worker with the Healthy Families program. Her primary job is to go out in the community. She does home visits.
I teach parent-child interaction, so I'm teaching them how to play with their child, things that they can do to support their development, and I'm also helping mom reach her goals. So it's a total package with Healthy Families and what I do.
Nakima is just great. As a new supervisor, new to the program, she was able to model for me how to do it the right way. She volunteers with numerous church groups who help the community and also the Boys and Girls Club as well.
Nakima is a member of the youth department here at All Nations Church. She is a no-nonsense person. She likes getting the job done.
When I first met Miss Nakima, my life was I probably didn't have a life. My mom died when I was 15 going on 16, and I had to move in with my aunt.
Jakira had very little support, did not have stable housing. She did not have a job, a good income coming in, and also she did not have a high school diploma. So me coming in the home to support her was very big. Also, I got her prenatally, so she knew pregnant that Dakarian had a hole in his heart and that he would need heart surgery soon after the birth.
Around the time of his surgery, she was really, really helpful because I didn't have nobody in the hospital with me. That kind of made me realize that she a nice person.
The work that she's done with that mom, I think, really is the best example of how this program is supposed to work.
She ended up getting me daycare, helping me get daycare, signing up for school. I ended up graduating, getting my diploma. Started working the day after I moved in this apartment.
My mom had a Healthy Families worker when I was in Head Start. So when I go in the home and one of my clients tell me that their dad wasn't a part of their life, I can say, well, guess what? My dad wasn't either, but look where I'm at. Our hope isn't lost because you had some stumbling blocks in your way.
She saved my life, basically. That's how I could really explain it to her. She saved my life.
I really think that she's had an impact on how this community will look in the future.
It's great that Nikema is receiving this award.
I don't do what I do for recognition. It's just what I do. It's who I am. It's what I love to do.
You've done a lot for your families. It's not just work, it's you.
Nikema, I would just like to tell you, as your pastor, that we are so very proud of you. We wish you the best, and just know that you have our support.
It's a good feeling to be recognized for something that you're passionate about.
Yeah, it's like she magic or something. She gets all of my love though, like 100%. 100%. Whatever she asks me to do, I do it. It's like kind of like a mom, like a second mom.
He has that it that a lot of people do not have in working with our scholars in this community.
When he came along, it was at the right moment, the right time.
He's truly a gentle giant with an even bigger heart.
Ron is here at Melrose to service our scholars that have experienced trauma. Since he's been here, we have had a great turnaround in the scholars' behavior in class as well as parental support.
I nominated Ron because of his great compassion and his concern for the community here in St. Petersburg. He's such a strong role model of character and integrity that I just felt that it needed to be recognized.
For me, it's my purpose in life. I feel like it's a calling. You know, as I look at these kids here at this particular school, I think about my life, and when I was growing up, there were so many adults who actually reached back to help me. The neighborhood I grew up in, the pastor of a particular church encouraged me to go out and reach those youth in those particular areas, and that inspired me.
Before Mr. Bell came into our life, it was very, very frustrating. We had to transfer from one school to another school, and it was always come pick him up. He's running around the classroom. And I always wanted to know from the school, what is it we can do as a team? I wasn't going to give up any kind of way on Nehemiah, so what are we going to do for my child?
My heart went out for this young man because of the challenges and the struggles that's in his life. He was adopted by his aunt and really have never experienced that parent-child bonding. he has allowed me in his life just a little bit, but not all the way.
Emotionally, I felt like I am at my wits. I am at my end with this. Then by the time I got him to Melrose and I met Mr. Bell, it was like, okay, I was in doubt. And when I seen how he responded to Mr. Bell, I'm going, okay, this might work.
From my perspective, if I can get the parent to buy into, you know, what I have to offer, and to get the parent to trust me and see me as a helper or a support, then that's huge. Because I personally believe that in order for students to be successful in school or in life, it's important that their parents are very supportive of what they're doing.
Ron is not a man that's afraid to show emotion, and things touch him very deeply.
Most of the kids I work with, they deal with quite a bit of traumatic experiences, and then they come into my office and they're asking, you know, how can you help me? What are you going to do differently than everybody else? Are you going to judge me, or are you going to be there to be a support and a help and an encouragement?
Now, with Mr. Bell in place, for myself, for the family, for Nehemiah, it's working out. He doesn't want to leave school now. He's happy because he has coping skills. He can do it.
Receiving this particular award, what it means to me is someone recognized me for doing the work that I'm doing in the community. I'm so thankful for it.
When he shared with me that he got chosen, and he was excited as well. Well, he was surprised, and I told him he shouldn't be surprised.
I would tell Ron how honored and privileged I am to have him on this team.
I would say to Mr. Bell, thank you so much. It's just like an awesome God-sent blessing.
She loves these kids, she loves the community, she works really hard at just helping families out.
She is very important to me.
Jessie is a spitfire. She sees the job, she goes out, gets it done. Jessie is a family connection navigator at Sandy Lane Elementary.
My job is to make sure that the family has the resources to succeed and to help that child succeed in school. My motivation to get up every morning is to change their lives.
A good story of Jessie is she had just started, and she came in and she said, oh, I was driving home last night, and she said, oh, I saw a help wanted sign at a construction site, and I stopped. The next day she came back and 2 dads were hired.
I have been in my clients' shoes. I am just like them.
Certainly some of our families are touched by domestic violence, and I think Jessie saw that as another avenue. She got additional training, and now she serves not only as an advocate for families that we service, but also amongst her team.
When I first met Reynaldo and his mother, first time we talked was on the phone. She could not talk, all she could do is cry. She was going through domestic violence. She told me how, you know, her abuser finally left. Then she shared with me how her son, Reynaldo, was acting out and was copying or mimicking what he saw. So she was reliving this abuse all over again with her own son. We started therapy services for him. I promised him from day one, if you follow through, if you go to your therapy, I have something for you. I didn't say anything what it was. I just said, I have something special for you.
She approached the community police officer at Sandy Lane and created a partnership.
Officer Frederick from the Clearwater Police helped me get Reynaldo a bike.
The day that Ronaldo received his bike, it was a really fun day. It was an opportunity for us to come out as the police department and give him a bike that he much needed. He was pretty excited about it, and we were excited about being able to give it to him.
The officers talked to him, congratulated him, let him know he was doing a great job. And I think that had a great impact in his life.
It's very nice now, and happy, and my son is very happy.
His grandparents came to visit from Puerto Rico. She saw him, she said, he's another child. Like, this is not the grandchild that I know.
Outside of her caseload, she's a lunch pal.
When I first started working with Mariah, she was at F in reading. And weeks of me encouraging her, I started bringing reading stuff for her. She went to a C.
She has created after-school programs, and they're doing science club. Families that are no longer on her caseload, they all come. For me, Cooperman-Bogue is who is 110% above and beyond, and that's Jessie.
I honestly do this job because I love it. So I'm very honored to be picked for this award.
I think Jessie receiving this award is a wonderful thing. She's much deserved. She's worked really hard, and I'm very happy for her.
I would hope that she is able to feel the goodness that she brings and the strength. Many people can do good things, and they do. Many people can perform social services and do it with a full heart and roll their sleeves up. But Jessie emanates what the true human spirit is of helping others, and that's rare. And that's Jessie.
It's just been inspiring to work with her because she is changing lives every day.
She's changed my life a lot for the better, and I love her for it.
Brandis has given us things that even friends and family can't.
I nominated Brandis because I've never met someone who is more passionate and creative. Brandis is the kind of person that makes me want to be a better social worker.
Some of the different type of job duties that we have here that maybe aren't as traditional. We have a chicken coop, a sensory garden, and then we also have a butterfly garden. We love to use it for therapy purposes, just to help a client to build rapport.
We do yoga with children that have been sexually abused. We get to use animal-supported therapies, and so it's awesome to work with someone who embraces these really creative modalities because there's not a cookie-cutter way to serve families and kids.
I knew I wanted to work with kids and families. When I got into my master's program, a friend told me about the play therapy certificate program. I said, okay, that's definitely something that I loved.
I initially met Brandis when I was a foster parent. She was the therapist that would come in home and see our kiddos every week.
We connected, and I think she valued the services that I provided and saw that I looked at things